Here's why Aemond never trusted Aegon, even as king. Welcome to the channel. Subscribe if you love House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones, and deep dives into Westerosi lore. Let's begin. In the bloody and turbulent history of Westeros, few rivalries run as deep, as tragic, and as dangerous as the one between two brothers, Aemond Targaryen and Aegon II Targaryen. Born into a dynasty where loyalty was everything, but betrayal was often closer than blood, the bond between these two sons of King Viserys was poisoned by ambition, jealousy, and manipulation. Today, we'll explore the real reasons why Aemond never fully trusted his elder brother, Aegon, even after Aegon was crowned king. On the surface, Aemond served loyally, fought ferociously, and risked his life for the Greens. But beneath the facade, Aemond's mistrust simmered like dragon fire waiting to consume everything. We'll dive into their childhoods, their personalities, the family politics that divided them, and the insecurities that shaped their dynamic. This is the story of why Aemond never placed his full faith in Aegon, even when the Iron Throne demanded it. From the moment of their births, Aegon and Aemond lived in very different shadows. Aegon, the elder son, was the golden child by default. As Viserys' firstborn son, he was always the presumptive heir to the throne in the eyes of those who dismissed Princess Rhaenyra's claim. Whether he deserved it or not, people whispered about his destiny from the cradle. He would sit the Iron Throne. He would be king. He would wear the crown of Aegon the Conqueror. But Aemond? He was the second son, the spare, the boy who had no throne promised to him, no great destiny marked on his forehead. In the Targaryen family, second sons often walked a dangerous path, either resigned to obscurity or consumed with envy and hunger. And Aemond, fiery and ambitious, was never going to settle for being second. This difference alone planted the first seeds of mistrust. Aemond knew that, no matter how hard he worked, Aegon's birth gave him privileges that could never be earned. Aegon could stumble, fall, and fail, yet still be king. Aemond could train, study, and sacrifice, and still be overlooked. That bitter truth gnawed at him for years. Let's take a closer look at who these brothers really were. Aegon II Targaryen was reckless, arrogant, and often immature. He enjoyed pleasures of the flesh more than duties of the crown. Brothels, wine, and careless indulgence filled his nights. Though clever in flashes, he lacked discipline, and most lords who looked upon him saw not a future king, but a spoiled princeling with too much power and too little restraint. Aemond Targaryen, on the other hand, was everything Aegon wasn't. Focused, ruthless, determined. Where Aegon wasted time on wine and women, Aemond sharpened his skills in swordplay and studied the art of war. Where Aegon laughed at courtly politics, Aemond understood alliances and strategies. This contrast created tension. For Aemond, watching his careless older brother stumble through life while being crowned heir to the Seven Kingdoms was unbearable. Deep down, he believed he was far more worthy of the throne. And in truth, many others thought the same. Even Alicent, their mother, sometimes confided doubts. She worried about Aegon's recklessness, and those quiet fears would only fuel Aemond's resentment. If his own mother doubted Aegon, why should he give his full trust? But mistrust is not born overnight. One moment defines Aemond's youth more than any other, the infamous loss of his eye. As a boy, Aemond suffered the mockery of his siblings and cousins for being dragonless. Aegon himself was no comfort. He joined in the laughter when Aemond was bullied. When Aemond finally claimed the mighty dragon Vhagar, his triumph turned into tragedy. A fight broke out with the children of Rhaenyra, and young Lucerys Valerion slashed out Aemond's eye with a dagger. In that bloody moment, Aemond gained power and vengeance, but lost something deeper, his innocence and his trust. He looked at his family differently after that night. Aegon, his older brother, had never truly defended him, never shielded him from mockery. Instead, he left Aemond to fight his own battles, alone and scarred. That wound ran deep, and though Aemond grew into a hardened warrior, the boy inside him never forgave Aegon for failing to stand by him. When King Viserys finally died, the battle for succession tore House Targaryen apart. Rhaenyra had long been named heir, but the Greens, led by Alicent and Otto Hightower, plotted to crown Aegon II instead. Here is where the mistrust between Aemond and Aegon sharpened into steel. Aegon himself didn't even want to be king at first. He resisted the crown, drunk and careless, hiding in the streets of King's Landing. It was Aemond who stood ready, dutiful and prepared, while Aegon cowered. Aemond must have thought, if I were firstborn, there would be no hesitation. I would seize the crown, not run from it. The fact that Aegon needed to be pushed into kingship made Aemond doubt him all the more. If his brother couldn't embrace his destiny, could he truly be trusted to rule wisely? Could he be trusted to lead their house to victory in war? The Dance of the Dragons soon exploded into bloodshed, and Aemond proved himself to be one of the Green's fiercest warriors. Mounted on Vhagar, the largest and most fearsome living dragon, Aemond was the true terror of the skies. His campaigns in the Riverlands, his duel at Storm's End, and his relentless hunt for Rhaenyra supporters showed his brilliance as a commander. But here's the irony. As Aemond rose in glory, Aegon's weakness became more apparent. When Aegon was grievously injured in battle, burned and broken, it was Aemond who stepped in as Prince Regent, ruling in his brother's stead. And he ruled well. For a time, Aemond held the kingdom together with fire and blood. Lords respected his strength, soldiers followed him with loyalty, and enemies feared him. And in those moments, Aemond must have wondered, am I not already more of a king than Aegon ever was? The mistrust turned into quiet ambition. Aemond would never openly usurp his brother, but deep down, he questioned every decision Aegon made. He knew that if the realm depended solely on Aegon, it might collapse. Politics in House Targaryen were never just about brothers. The influence of women, especially Alicent Hightower and Helaena Targaryen, shaped the rift between Aemond and Aegon. Alicent favored stability, but she knew Aegon was reckless. Her constant scolding of him made him insecure, while her subtle praise of Aemond only widened the gap. Whether she intended it or not, Alicent planted seeds of rivalry between her sons. Helaena, Aegon's sister wife, was another complicating factor. Rumors swirled about Aemond's closeness to her. Though unconfirmed, the mere existence of whispers made Aegon paranoid. Could he trust his brother when people suggested betrayal even within his own marriage bed? These tensions poisoned their bond further. Trust became impossible when every glance carried suspicion. Ultimately, the greatest reason Aemond never trusted Aegon was not external. It was internal. Aemond's very nature made trust difficult. He was calculating, cautious, always expecting betrayal. To Aemond, the world was a battlefield where only strength mattered. And in his eyes, Aegon was weak. That weakness was unforgivable. Aemond might fight for him, might protect the family name, but deep in his heart, he never entrusted Aegon with the survival of House Targaryen.